Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Today, my dear friends, we are celebrating Wednesday of the 29th week in the Ordinary Time. As we have mentioned last night, in yesterday's Mass, we are drawing closer to the end of the liturgical year. Those 33, 34 weeks of the Ordinary Time. And thus, we are ending the cycle. And the readings would begin giving us bits and pieces of points for reflection about the end. And we continue the Gospel of Luke in this perspective. Jesus was talking to his disciples, and he continued on saying, "Be sure of this, if the master of the house had known the hour, etc., etc., kung kailan darating ang magnanakaw, hindi niya hahayaan ito na mangyari." That being prepared is important. Perhaps on the top of our priority list when we try to reflect on the return of our Lord Jesus. Preparedness. And we also mentioned last night that this preparedness that Jesus was referring to in the Gospel is about honing our humanity according to the humanity of Jesus, forming ourselves according to the image of Jesus, who took on flesh, God who took on flesh, so that He may teach us how to behave properly and how to live our lives properly. So that is being prepared. Now Peter, upon hearing about this being prepared for the return of the Master, he asked the Lord, "Lord, is this parable meant for us or for everyone? Para sa amin lang ba to?" And he was referring to the disciples. Para sa amin lang ba to o para sa lahat? And then Jesus said, if that is the case, kung para sa lahat, sino yung tapat na katiwala? Who then is the faithful steward? And how did Jesus qualify being a faithful steward? A faithful steward is a person whom the master will find, or rather, the master will put in charge of the other servants. And he is in charge with the distribution of their supplies. This servant whom the master trusts will take care of the rest of the servants. And then towards the end of the Gospel, Jesus says, a servant who knew his master's will, but did not make preparations nor act in accord with his master's will, shall be beaten severely. And the servant who was ignorant, who did not know his master's will, but acted in a way deserving of a severe punishment, shall only be beaten lightly. Tagalog, yung katiwala na alam niya ang kalooban ng kaniyang amo, pero hindi niya sinunod ito, ay parurusahan ng mabigat. At ang katiwala na hindi alam ang kalooban ng kaniyang amo, pero ganun pa rin ang ginawa, katulad ng unang katiwala, mas magaan ang parusa. Bakit ganun, Father? Parehas lang naman sila ng ginawa. Parehas lang naman silang nagwalwal, ika nga. No? Parehas lang silang nag-inom, naglasing, nag-enjoy. Bakit parehas lang sila ng bakit magkaiba sila ng parusa? Yung isa mabigat, yung isa magaan. Dahil yung unang katiwala, alam niya ang kalooban ng amo niya. Remember, we mentioned being prepared is to live our lives, our humanity, according to the example of Jesus, the new Adam, the new man, the firstborn of all creation. And we know already. And so when you know already what to do, and you did not do it, then the punishment becomes severe. Mas mabigat kasi alam mo. Kumpara doon sa taong hindi alam, at ganun din ang ginawa katulad ng ginawa mo, magaan lang ang parusa niya, sabi ng Panginoon. Second point why this sounds illogical to us. The reason why the first servant will be beaten severely is that because he was chosen. He was chosen to take care of the other servants. So preparedness is not only a personal and individual concern. Preparedness, or living our humanity to the fullest, o sa Tagalog, ang pagpapakatao, ay hindi lamang isang personal na concern. And there are people whom God entrusts to us to be under our care. Ibig sabihin din, kapag meron kang malaking responsibilidad sa kawan ng Diyos, mas malaki ang inaasahan sa iyo. Kaya kinakabahan nga ako Kaya magpakabait kayo. Kasi responsibilidad ko kayo sa Diyos. No? Kapag mayroong nagpabaya, ay sisingilin din ako dyan. No? But kidding aside, that is true. There are people put under our care, and they are our responsibility. Because preparedness, and that is living our humanity to the fullest, is not just an individual personal concern. It is always communal. It is always communal. We are always our brother's keeper. And so today, my friends, we try to examine the way we lead. Perhaps in the office, as for those who have positions, do I lead my subordinates towards good and moral decisions? Perhaps in the family, do I teach my children to have good and moral decisions? Because they are our responsibility. Perhaps in the community, for the civil leaders, do I lead them towards a better life? And we remember the words of Jesus. Whoever leads these little ones to sin. Sabi niya, it is better for you to puluputan ang iyong liig ng gilingang bato at itapon sa dagat kaysa dalhin mo sila sa kasalanan, sabi ng Panginoon. Because when a person knows better, he should know better. When God has given you the opportunity to be an educated person, that education must lead others towards becoming a better person. But when your position, your power, your intelligence leads others to sin, then the beating will be severe. The punishment will be heavy, because much will be required of a person entrusted with much. But still more will be demanded of a person entrusted with more.